Yes, people, what is going on? Welcome back to the Yes People podcast. It feels like it's been ages since it's been away. It's been over a year. I'm with Tom today. What's going on, Geese? You all good?
Not too bad, mate. Not too bad.
Good. So, the Yes People podcast is back. Of course, Tom is no one famous as you may be expecting, or relatively famous. Not yet, exactly. Not yet. Right attitude. The Yes People podcast is back. It's just going to be a podcast all about sports, as we all know. So this week in particular, there is bugger all sports on. So we are going to do a football special.
Way.
Yes, excellent. Thank you for the enthusiasm.
That is first week back on football, I've seen.
All football. I know this channel is not necessarily only football stuff. It's actually mostly anything but football. But football is, of course, dominating at the moment. It's massive. It's huge. So, I'll ask a simple question. We'll get straight off the bat. Project Restart.
What do I think of it?
Yeah, just tell me what you're thinking, because I've got very mixed opinions.
It's a bit of a dodgy one, isn't it? Because you've got two things involved. You've got people's health and then you've got finance.
Yeah.
Football's all about finance.
Yeah.
But then a lot of people have died.
Yeah.
And it is a bit of a piss take.
And
Can I swear on this?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a piss take to restart it, if you think about it that way.
I think I've said this to a few people. I think if Liverpool weren't as close to winning the league as they were, no one would care, and they would just say, "No, we can't do it. We've got to restart We've got to restart next season and worry about people's health."
Because I thought it'd be the opposite. Because if Liverpool were miles off winning the league and it was tight up the top, then there's more to play for in terms of finances, because every position counts, doesn't it?
But I think with 9 games to go, there's so much. If you we'll take out Liverpool from it. We'll take out Liverpool for now. 9 games to go. You've got the top the 3 of the top 4, but minus Liverpool. Yeah. Chelsea, Leicester, City. Any one of those can still finish second.
That's true. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We don't really care about who finishes second. The only thing we care about is who gets into the Champions League. Yeah. And which, of course, with City, we don't even know that's going to be the case. But I think if that was, again, forget Liverpool, and if those 3 were going for the league, I don't think there'd be a massive, we have to restart it. This is an absolute joke. We cannot deny Liverpool the league, because everyone's saying this is the best Liverpool team of all time and whatever, which I don't really agree with, because they were unreal years going by. But I do doubt that if it would have been anyone else other than Liverpool, who obviously haven't won the league for 30-odd years, would it be the same?
Yeah, I'm not... Well, you say that, but then... Well, there was a big thing about the relegation battle, wasn't there?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
About them not signing on, don't want to take part. It's a bit of a weird one, because I was begging for it to come back. Yeah. Because I'm thinking... We all were, because we wanted some... I need Prem... I want to start watching Bundesliga.
It's terrible. It's awful.
Dog shit.
Absolutely awful.
Prem came back. I'm looking forward to it. Buzzing for that Chelsea game yesterday. It's just not the same.
It's not.
First half an hour, I was like, this is so boring.
Yeah. And especially with the Chelsea game, obviously, both Chelsea fans, it slightly helped that we won.
Yeah.
But we dominated the game for so long. But the game of football itself wasn't actually a good game. It was a good result, obviously, for us.
I don't think there's been one good game so
far.
No. The City-Arsenal game was good in a sense just because David Luiz got sent off.
Yeah.
And you knew City was
But that's not good. That's just entertaining. Yeah. This is the thing, is are you doing it for entertainment, or are you looking at it going, we want the best football played? Because sometimes really boring games, like defensive work, is much more... it's much more quality than...
Yeah, I don't know.
So some of them there's a lot more quality involved than... like, who was it that was years gone by? World Cup. Messi against, I think it was Nigeria or Iran. I don't even remember that. It was really dull game. And then all of a sudden, just like that, Messi goes and whips one top corner. Yeah, and it just opens up the game and go, okay, that moment is worth it. But, like... I mean, I'll say Arsenal again. The Mopai, however you say it, Mopai.
Biggest shithouse in football.
Yeah, biggest shithouse in football. That moment was like, getting a bit of drama. But there was, I mean, even the Watford-Leicester game before it, there was some good goals scored in that, but it wasn't a good game of football. There was the moments that you're waiting for, which I understand, but...
Well, the Arsenal-Brighton game, as you said, was entertaining, but piss poor quality again.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Kick out of play to try and switch it.
Oh God, and bloody Rudiger yesterday.
Yeah,
my God.
Group chat. He kicked out about 4 or 5 times trying to get to Alonso.
It's just, He was literally 20 yards away, 25 yards away. Just pass the ball along the floor. Why are you trying this aerial ball for? He's just like, it's almost as if Alonso's just gone, I just want to work on my chest work, so just ping the ball up to me and let me deal. It's just keep the ball.
He's just sorting his fitness and his legs out. He's trying to get back. He's halfway up the pitch. It was great in a Conte system.
Yeah.
He was literally playing winger and he could stay there.
Mm-hmm.
But when he's got to get up and down like a Sunday League player, useless.
I do agree. But I just think the project restart has just come at the completely wrong time. I get why they've done it, and of course the finance, you have to think about that. But
you think the amount of lawsuits are if they didn't do it?
Yeah, this is the thing. I think with the global game of football as it is, and the money that is involved, if we take this back 30 years, 40 years, we take this back to...
They would just cancel it.
Yeah, we'll take this back to the 80s. Gone. Gone. And no one cares. It's, okay. But there's so much money in football now that it had to restart. But the problem, I think, that came massively from it is when the Bundesliga restarted... Germany have dealt with the coronavirus a lot better than we have. They said they had their little second peak and whatever, but they still overall has dealt with it a lot better than we have. Probably for multiple different reasons. Because we've got the NHS, people, I think, just go, oh, yeah, we'll be fine, and we'll get treatment on the NHS if needs be. Where in Germany and other places where they have not got, public health care, it's all private. You must be going, shit. If I get this, I'm going to have to pay out a lot of money.
Well, and Germany's a lot bigger, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah.
40 million in Germany is 68 million, I think, that live in the United Kingdom. So, and you think about land, amount of humans per bit of square land.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah, it is nuts. Yeah, I don't want to go on to coronavirus, but
no. But I think they dealt with it a lot better for whatever reason it is, and I think it's almost, the Bundesliga back. And, of course, everyone went nuts for it. I mean, I remember Mbappe tweeting and, BT Sport getting all over it, going, no, Bundesliga's back and football's back. And everyone just wanted their little fix. And I think a lot of people just had this kind of realisation that, if we get football back, this is seen as a positive. And I think the country probably needed a positive.
You say, I think you're right. Because Boris Johnson the other day, I said the other day, 2 months ago, he was saying, we'll put the football back on to boost the nation's morale. Yeah. I mean, if that's how he's viewing it, then of course he's getting it back on.
Exactly.
I mean, big heads up top will be going, listen, you need to get this back on because people are bored sitting at home doing nothing.
Yeah. And this is the problem I've got with Project Restart, is the fact that I understand why they put it back on. I do. Yeah. Get morale up, whatever. But I think they probably could have dealt with it in other ways than put it all on now, because I mean it's been, we'll call it a week and a half, because we've had more than a week's worth of games. The only team we haven't seen is Burnley.
Not big fast.
Exactly. I don't think it's been a success so far. Of course, it's only a week and a half in. I don't think it's been a success.
What do you count as success, though?
I want to see football, especially in England, played at the highest possible level,
like the way it used to before the pandemic.
And I get that the crowds are going to be a part of that and whatever, but the crowd noise, I think, is crap.
Don't get me started.
I have to say, I think BT's is better than Sky's is.
Definitely. Do you know what? I watched the Merseyside derby last night.
Oh my god! They flashed the one across goal and they acted as if it went in.
Richarlison binned one off in the top corner of the stadium, and the crowd went mental.
Oh, miles away, fucking miles away. I don't like it at all. But this is the thing: watching it without the sound is also crap.
It is, but you know the reason they want the crowd on is to mask the swearing.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially BBC. Do you watch the Bournemouth game?
Yeah.
They had it on from the get-go.
I heard, I think it was actually in that game, I did hear, I was on the bus. I did go to Baskin Robbins in the end. It was open.
Did you? Oh,
yes.
What time did it
I think 9, half 9, something like that. But I was on the bus watching that game on my phone.
On the bus.
Oh yeah, for an ice cream. I was watching the game. I was watching the game on my phone on the bus, and I picked up a bit of foul language, as we'll call it. Something that Ofcom would absolutely hate.
Panic?
Oh no, I'll be honest. I don't think they dealt with it actually. I think they thought that they'd masked it, and then I think I must have lost interest. They may have apologised, they may have not.
What were we discussing? Rudiger missing...
Well, no, there's all sorts of stuff. Project Restart has been the main one, of course. But overall, from what's been Project Restart, are you a fan, not a fan? What's the thoughts and theories? Do you think it's the right time to come back for football, and do you think it's the right time to come back for the rest of the nation?
Right, I'm a fan because I get to watch a Prem every week.
Yeah.
Selfish point of view.
Yeah, fair enough.
Those dead people in the ground right now are probably thinking, are you taking the fucking piss? Because you're putting football back on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there could be a second spike coming up.
Yeah,
we know.
and we don't know.
What would they do if there was a second spike?
Exactly. They would have to end the season. They would have no option. They would have absolutely no option.
Our government is shit. I mean, test and trace not even up right now.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
We're not like Germany. Like, if Germany got a second spike, they could deal with it.
I'll tell you who's dealt with it best, and I think a lot of people
New Zealand.
Well, yeah, New Zealand, yeah. But I think France are quite underrated of how they've dealt with it. Again, it's the same thing. Expensive healthcare, people shit themselves, all of a sudden they don't go out of the house and they listen to what they need to listen to. But they've cancelled all their football. There is written rules that they've cancelled all their football. Now, I get the Premier League is the biggest league in the world and it's got a lot of money in it. But when you've got the likes of a superpower like PSG advertising and making moments for you, and you've got stars like Neymar and Mbappe and even Cavani and Di Maria, there's all these huge stars, and there's other people in, of course, the French League as well. That's a lot of money, the likes of Nike, the likes of Adidas, all missing out on.
But did you hear I don't know who it was, but it might have been Lyon, but it might have been a small team in France. They were filing for a lawsuit. They've already done it. Because apparently they get relegated.
Oh, Amiens.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, what pain in the arse that's going to be?
Yeah, for no reason.
Exactly. Because they were saying it's a conspiracy that I think they're being sent down.
Yeah, but to be the thing I kind of get with the French league, I actually know someone, Jeanne. Do you ever know Jeanne? I don't know if you met Jeanne. She works for she is. She works for Amiens, so she's been banging on about it and whatever, and it's like, oh, it's a disgrace, it's this that. I kind of get why, because it's actually in the rules of the league. Because this is the thing, because the Premier League's new, people haven't thought about that stuff, so that's why no one knew what to do when the coronavirus come round. But for whatever it is in French, there is some rule that pretty much says, if there is a global pandemic, the league gets cancelled, and if you're in the bottom two, you go down. If you're in the top of the table, you win. Congratulations. Yeah. And that's been there. Whether you want to completely ignore it and you just forget about it, because it very rarely comes up, the rule is still there.
I mean, it is all about money at the end of the day, isn't it?
Of course it is.
Did you see the table the other day of the how much money is basically you get for each league? So go Prem.
Oh, what?
Bundesliga,
Yeah.
Serie A, and then it was the French league.
Yeah.
I mean, if that doesn't say it all, then I don't know what does.
Exactly.
The French league cancelled. Serie A just about made it, probably because they're in financial ruin right now. So
exactly.
Bundesliga, fair enough, they dealt with it well.
Yeah.
And up top, England, because
and let's be completely honest. The only reason La Liga come back.
Oh, and La Liga,
is because they've got three powerhouses in Atletico, Real, and Barcelona, and there's actually a title race on. To be fair, there is actually a title race on.
Well, they're quick to get up and running, aren't they?
Just
in general, I mean, football as well. You've got summer holidays coming back. They want to open up again.
This is the problem I think that we've got is as a nation we are going to struggle this year. As a whole, and let's get very political and very off topic, but we're going to struggle.
They all merge, don't they?
Yeah, we're going to struggle this year as a whole, and I think is one of the things we can keep on to is football, and I think a lot of people obviously are going to think similarly to me. If you can hold on to football, we could probably be all right.
Yeah.
But is it about being all right, or is it about dealing with a global pandemic?
It's just what do you pick? Do you pick people's health, or do you pick the economy? And they're picking the economy.
And I've been told that I have to go back to work and whatever, and I've actually been furloughed again. Yeah. But for me going back to work, I had so many concerns about having to go back. You've been lucky. You've worked the whole way through. God bless you, key worker over here. I was very anxious about going back to work, and then eventually I got furloughed again anyway, which is okay. But I had to do a health questionnaire survey thing before I went back. And I was speaking to this woman on the phone, and she said every single person has got the same concern pretty much as you, which is about transport and getting in. Because I work in central London, it's all about getting into town. Yeah. It's a worry. And
it's more expensive now.
Exactly.
Because Sadiq can't put the TfL charge up.
Yeah, because he's an idiot, but there we are. Fun little story. Every time you go to the NFL, they bring out the London Mayor
does he get booed?
To do the coin toss on the third or fourth game. They normally always do it at Wembley. 90,000 people every single time. Don't matter what your political opinion. Boo! All the Americans go, who is this guy? Oh, he's a Mario London. He's an idiot. Yeah, he's an idiot. Yeah. Oh, why is it he's a Mario London? You should celebrate. I was like, have you seen him? Have you seen it? He's putting everything up for us to make it. The only thing he did right, to be fair, no, I'm not going into politics. The only thing he did right was when he changed the bus travel. Yeah. And you could get multiple. Literally. Other than that, he's done piss all. He's done absolutely piss all. He's turned up every now and again and shook some hands, and that's about it. But
you don't want to be shaking hands these days.
Exactly. You can't do it. You can't do it anymore. But this is the thing. Is I think sport in the UK is obviously so massive. We're very, very unlikely to get any sort of tourists coming in anytime soon because people know about how bad London's been with the virus and whatever. Even shops and stuff like that, retail, I think that's going to struggle massively. And I think certain people, obviously, we've seen the scenes in Primark and all those things where people have gone nuts. But that's VAT. There's people, the tax is already on that. So that then means the economy's going to struggle. And then I get why they're saying about Project Restart and everything with the football coming back into it and making the morale of people better. Doesn't mean it's right.
I'll tell you what, I've got a question for you. What do you think of
Tottenham?
Shit. Clubs furloughing their staff?
Oh, ourselves, all of them.
Do you think
they've got so much? They've got so much money. They have got so much money.
I don't think
the smaller clubs. The smaller clubs, I get it. I do get it. Yeah. But the football clubs have got so much money. If you want to furlough people, fair enough, but pay them the 100% because you've got the money. Right. You have got the money to do. So a little bump it up to. Yeah. I'm lucky. I've got bumped up to 100% for a fair few. I think 2 months I got bumped up for, and then I'm down to now 90%, rather than the rest of the nation's on 80%. Yeah. If you want to bump it up, fair enough, fair play. But you've got smaller clubs. I get it. I do get it because this is make or break for them.
Yeah, this is. Yeah.
But again, I don't like what Wetherspoons have done, where they've just sacked off every single member of staff pretty much. This is the thing. I think because there's been a lot of people that are saying like, oh, we're going to pay this money, we're going to pay that money within this contract, we're on that contract. I think footballers should have all been forced to take the 20%, just like the rest of the nation is. Just like the rest, because I get, I've got to look after this, you've got to do that. You get $100,000 a week, mate.
Yeah. No.
You know what I mean? Like,
you don't start on the money.
Yeah, it's stupid. You know, like certain things. I get that. 20% is still a lot for anyone. It is. 20k less. If you're on $100,000 a week, is still going to make a big impact to you. But you're not going to work. You're right. Coronavirus.
Don't get me started.
Yeah, with footballers, they're not going to work.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You're right now. You're right. They're not going to work. So. Why should they be getting paid the 100%? Like, I get the rest of the nation is going through the same struggle you are. We get it. This is a global pandemic. If you don't like it, then fine, you can complain. But I don't think you've got a leg to stand on. Pretty much.
Yeah.
I get why you're pissed. I get why you're pissed off, but you should again. But that 20 grand from $100,000 a week player. There are a lot of players on $100,000 a week in the Premier League. You could probably say it's an average. I don't know for a fact. We could probably say it's about an average.
What do you think they should have done with the money taken away from the players?
Give it to people else at the club. Give it to other people.
Yeah, good idea.
That's the thing, because if you give it to other people, I mean, Ozil's on, what was he, 250 grand a week?
350.
Oh, is he on 300? Yeah, whatever he's on a lot of money. Let's call it 300, because I don't know. Let's call it 300 grand a week. 20%, 60k. That'll pay people all year.
Two people for a whole year.
Exactly.
Getting 30k each.
Exactly, and there's a lot of people at clubs that are on a lot less. If you're with an agency staff, you can do like ticketing programs or whatever. Unfortunately, that's just what it is. There's not a choice in that. You signed up for it. That's the job that you undertook. So I get it. I understand there's a problem with it, but it's part and parcel. But people that are actually like staff at clubs, they should be getting money. They should be getting 80%. This is a global issue, especially in this country. If we're talking only about this country, the furlough scheme that we've got is great, but we should all be on the same thing.
Do you think big clubs will struggle still?
Well, Tottenham are Champions League finalists last year, and they apparently are struggling.
Yeah, I mean,
call that what you want.
To Liverpool and Werner, apparently the reason they didn't sign him, one of the reasons was because of the pandemic.
Of course it is.
Money.
Well,
do you really think though that they don't have enough money?
I was going to say that to you. So one of the things I brought out, and the reason I picked to do a football episode is because there is just nothing else going on. Yeah. But I saw night, just before I went to bed, I saw a headline saying that Guardiola thinks that he's going to have the same squad as this year, next year, minus a few probably because he'll get rid of a few, but because they don't know whether they've got the money or not.
I mean,
to be able to spend it in the way that they want to spend it. It's very different. They've got money to probably go and bring in, a couple of, they've got money to go and spend £100 million on player or whatever, on players, bit players. But,
100 million plus.
But do you want bit players at your club? Is that kind of...
Is that based on them not getting Champions League because they're the ban?
No. That's based on the coronavirus, on the pandemic. Because it has hit everyone. It has hit everyone.
Well, it's double whammy with them, isn't it?
The only thing that's had any luck, well, of course, with it is us, obviously, because we weren't allowed to spend last year.
Do you know what? I think Chelsea are the only club that came out well out of the pandemic.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'd say well in...
But this is the thing, I still think there's a lot of work to do, and that's what I was going to also talk to you about as well, is coming on to the topic of transfers, is Chelsea obviously have done amazingly well to get Werner. We've done amazingly well to get Ziyech before, obviously, the pandemic kicked off. Kai Havertz is the name that keeps getting banged on about, on and on and on and on and on.
Unknown.
We don't know what he's going to be. Why would I be risking to pay £75 million for a player that could be elite when I need a centre-half and a left-back?
Right, so before that game yesterday, kind of forgot about Chelsea's defensive shitness.
Exactly. This is what I've been on about it for fucking ages.
I was banging on about, I think, let's get Kai Havertz even.
Everyone's on about fucking scoring goals. If we keep fucking letting them in, there's no point, is there?
I mean, we were all over Villa.
And we were.
Had one chance.
Exactly.
Do you know what annoys me? The guy that put it in the net, he fell on the floor first, then got back up. And he had the time to get back up and tap it in again.
And whose fault was it?
Christensen's.
Yeah, didn't run in after him. He walked.
I'm still waiting for him to bulk up. What is he doing with his life?
I think he's done at Chelsea. Honestly, I think he's done. But there we are. That's just
technically, I think he's actually quite good. But
he is a Spanish league defender written all over him.
Yeah, I can see him.
He would be great at Barcelona because he'd be able to pop the ball around, and then every single time the Champions League game's up, they play someone completely different. Anytime any game of any quality comes up, it gets dropped. That's the bottom line of it.
But then who else do you put in? Zuma. Oh god, Zuma was so good before his injury. After his injury,
I think he goes. I think he goes.
Well, I don't understand why Tomori wasn't playing yesterday.
Apparently, he did have a knock. Apparently, I didn't hear
it.
For
4 months.
I know, I couldn't believe it. To be fair, everyone's been out for 4 months. But no, I think with the Chelsea backline concerns, of course we've got all transfers this season is we've done very well. Again, we've come out of the pandemic all right. We've got a decent centre forward signed for a very good price.
Do you think it's a hit?
Yeah, I do. I do. Yeah.
Because I was looking on Twitter the other day. I know it's pessimistic, but I saw just bags of misses.
Oh, no.
I mean, every player will miss.
Yeah, he does miss chances. We're not going to...
I'm just hoping the difference between him... Morata missed, and then his head just went down for the rest of the game, and you knew it was over. Hopefully with Werner, if he misses one, get back on it.
Yeah.
Bag and up
to it's quite annoying, because Sky Sports News, obviously, where a lot of people get their sources from and whatever, they haven't got the rights to show the Bundesliga. So all they're doing is showing his Germany goals, and he scored a handful against, I think it was like San Marino or someone of that like crappy quality, and he's just lifted it over the keeper and whatever, and he's going like, yeah, it's a good finish, but it's against someone shit. So it kind of takes away the credibility for it. But again, he scored against Spurs. I know it's a penalty, but still,
he did play well for against Spurs.
Yeah, he did play well. That's the thing that I want to see is we've got a lot of talent around him. Or we will have a lot of talent around him to not have to make him the number one goal threat, if you get what I mean. Yeah. If he goes and grabs 20 goals, just say that was the number. He goes and grabs 20 goals all season, but then Ziyech pops up with 9, and then Mount pops up with 12 or whatever if he kicks on. Well, if he kicks on or whatever, or Pulisic pops up with 12. That's probably more likely. You've then got to have Tammy Abraham in that mix as well. If he pops up with 15, which could happen, and of course Giroud as well.
Do you think Tammy will either come on as a sub, or do you think he'll start maybe every other game, cup games?
I think Frank doesn't like him the way that all Chelsea fans want to like him. I think he's a great player. I do, but I do think he needs to work on his finishing. Bear in mind, he's a centre forward.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. Yeah, that says a lot, doesn't it?
Do you know what I mean?
But I don't think he won't want to stay second. He's not like Batchy. He's got a weak mentality. Staying in first striker and he still wants to stay. Like what he do?
Oh no, he will go. He will 1 million%.
He'll definitely go now.
Well, this is the thing. He knows he's going to have the money. This is the problem I've got with also signing Willian again to a deal. His 2-year deal is what he deserves, and you can fob him off after next season, and you get a bit of money for him still. He wants a 3-year deal. He's not worth it.
Willian.
Yeah. He's not worth it.
How old is he now? 31?
31, 32, something like that. He's not worth a 3-year deal. 31-year-old leaves you to 34, you're out of your peak. 31 usually is where people roughly end their peak, maybe 32, depending on the player that you are. But I don't think Willian's going to be the same player for Chelsea. And we need to give him some respect, and I've got a signed shirt. Everyone thinks I've got this fucking agenda against him. I love Willian. I think he's been
Willian
great.
Willian has definitely been one of our best players.
For years. For years he has.
Especially when Hazard was here. When Hazard disappeared, Willian, you focus more on Willian, and now that's why people are slagging him off.
Exactly, but I do think he deserves certain bits of criticism because his
corners.
Yeah, his corners are weak. They are weak. I mean, the one yesterday, I think he got cut out by Grealish. I don't even know who he was aiming for.
I know.
I don't even know who he was aiming for. But I saw, I did see that stat yesterday. It said about Chelsea have scored like the third highest amount of headed goals in the league, and it was 8. And I looked at it and thought, well, they ain't coming from fucking corners. Where are they coming from?
That's just Dave whipping it in the box.
Yeah, it's just Dave. Yeah, it is. And I was really alarmed by it because I thought, I mean, yeah, fair enough. Free kicks, whatever, blah, 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 blah. But there's a reason Mount takes free kicks. Because he puts it in more dangerous areas. Yeah. From wide, we're talking. From wide. Taker, yeah. Willian, for a goal threat, I mean, Willian or Alonso, I wouldn't put past either of them. I know they've got the quality in them. But Willian and that money that they will want, that his team will want for him, is nuts. If Chelsea want to rebuild in the way that we properly can, Willian is unfortunately not part of that process. There's nothing wrong with that. No. You've just got to be honest with it and go, you're not part of the process. Pedro's been fine. Pedro has had no problems at all.
Would you keep him?
I would, but I completely understand why he's going. Yeah. I completely understand why he's going.
And who do you think would take Willian? What type of team?
I think it goes Man United.
Man United?
This is stupid. Tottenham? I don't think he should go to Man United. I don't think he'll go to Tottenham. But I think this is the problem I've got is I know his media team or part of his media team for one of the charity things that he does. He loves London. Yeah. He loves it. Which means that he's got 2 teams, maybe 3, to pick from if he wants to stay in London, which is obviously Tottenham and Arsenal, and the only one that could maybe be able to pay him any sort of a wage he would want would be West Ham, but they look like they're going to go down. So exactly, so they ain't going to be able to afford him realistically. So it comes down to the 2 North London clubs.
So I only think Tottenham because he might link up with Jose again.
Yeah, I do, and obviously the rumours were there, but I don't think Lampard will sell.
To a rival?
This is the problem that we've got. If we sign him to a 2-year deal, we can sell him wherever the hell we want. He's got a year to sort out his life. We don't have to give a fuck. At the moment, he's a free transfer. He can go anywhere and we can do nothing about it. And that's the problem that we've got to face, is the fact that we know that he's going to...
Do you think he's good... If you sold him to a rival, though, do you think he's good enough to still make an impact on that team?
Yes.
And help them?
Yes. Big games. He is a big game player.
See, I could... Maybe...
He's a big game player.
I'm saying Spurs, but then Arsenal do like to buy cheap.
If they go... I have to say, if he goes to Man United, he offers nothing. Martial, Rashford, Bruno Fernandes... Daniel James, he offers nothing. Yeah. That's my personal opinion. So for me, I would give him there. But again, we don't have that control. If you sell him to Tottenham, they've got quality all over the pitch, Tottenham have, whether you want to accept it or not. They lack a winning mentality, and Willian has it.
That's true.
So...
that's the only club I can see him going at. Unless Arsenal panic by last minute on a window and go, sod it, we'll take him.
But this is the thing, because obviously David Luiz went to Arsenal because of the board of directors geezer, Adair, I think his name is.
Oh, yeah.
Something
both
like
Brazilian.
That. Yeah, both Brazilian. maybe that's some sort of a link up. Maybe obviously he likes to have David Luiz in the team and whatever because he was Brazilian. Maybe he's a friend of his and whatever. David Luiz and Willian are still friendly.
Yeah.
Whether David Luiz wants it, whether he gets extended or not, I've got no idea. I have a feeling he will get extended. If that's the case, he's going to Arsenal, I think.
Do you think that because he started yesterday? So what do you think?
What, for Willian?
Yeah.
I think Willian... Well, I have to say, I think the thing with Frank, I think people massively underestimate him. I think he is just a case of, are you the best guy for the job? Yes, right, you're playing.
Yeah. But...
And I think he knows next year Willian is not in the plans. No, he knows next year. Everyone knows. Everyone knows he's not in the plans next year. No one is doing a predicted lineup for 2021 and having Willian in that team. No. Even on the bench, people aren't having him. I do think that Pedro would be better off going back to Spain. But it depends on where his loyalties lie, to be honest. Well, I said the one place I would go if I was Pedro, and I think it would be absolutely great, and he would be a marketing dream. No. Oh, that would be great, though. Could you imagine? Just rips up the league. The one place I would go, and I think it depends on where he wants to see his career going. I still think he can play probably Europa League football. Champions League, maybe one of those teams that goes into Europa League. You know, those like third place teams.
What, in a Spanish team?
Anywhere, to be fair. Not necessarily only Spain, but anywhere. Yeah. I do think he could. But the one thing, I think, if it was me, and I was Pedro, and I knew what was available in a different continent, I think I would consider it. I think Pedro would be an amazing signing for Inter Miami.
I think anyone would be a good signing.
World Cup winner, Champions League winner, Europa League winner, Barcelona, Chelsea. His CV is absolutely insane. He's still got legs in him. You want to go and rival the likes of Carlos Vela and all those people in the league that want to claim they're the best player. He goes to Miami and he changes that team. That's for me. And they still need a midfielder because their midfield at Miami for the 3 games or whatever they played was crap. But you get him in there, and he can actually revolutionise the team. And he's the first big name. It doesn't matter if he wins the bloody MLS or not. He doesn't give a shit. He's won the Champions League. He's won the World Cup. He's won the Euros twice. No one gives a shit if you're any good or not. All you've got to do is just get in, play your football, and you become a fucking advertising dream.
Yeah, but do you think he wants that?
I don't know.
Right now he's got enough money. Has he not his long career?
I don't necessarily think Chelsea. He has. I don't necessarily think he has. He still said about splashing the cash. He still wants some sort of a payday.
Yeah, I don't know what's that.
Can you ever have enough money though? To be fair,
that's true.
But this is the thing. I think if he goes to Miami, obviously he's been in London. He's been speaking English for bloody ages. He learnt it as well before, and I remember his English being all right when he came to Chelsea. He's got that ability. America is an absolute marketing dream. Everything about it would be insane. And he could stay there for years. It would
be completely different for him.
He
might like towards in his later days.
This is the thing, because I don't know about you, but if I were to go anywhere, if I were to go back to Spain, and I think he's one of those people that's going to be like, Barcelona is my team. I think he'd be one of those. But I think if he goes anywhere else in Spain, he goes, yeah, look at Barcelona though.
You think we'll compare them?
Yeah, of course he would.
You know, Fat Ronaldo. He owns part ownership of. Is it Barcelona? I don't know. Lower team in La Liga.
Yeah.
He was saying he would like Pedro at his club. So there you go, bottom league.
Yeah.
Bottom tier Spanish side.
Maybe
take him.
I think the thing for Pedro is, I mean, you've won it all. You ain't going to win anything more. You're not going to get in the Spain team. You're not going to. I doubt you're going to win the Champions League again unless you play for an elite team. Could he take a team-friendly deal, go back to Barcelona? Very possible, I think.
Yeah.
Could he take a team-friendly deal, go back to Barcelona? Yeah, I do think that would be possible. He is still a legend over there. People love him. Yeah. He went back a few years ago. I can't remember who it was for now. Might be when they won the Champions League, actually. Did they? When did we sign? No, it was. Yeah, we signed him. He went back just after they won the Champions League.
Yeah, that's right.
2015, 16, something like that. And they had like and you're champions, Barcelona, woo, all that shit on the pitch. And they brought him on because obviously he's got a medal and whatever. He was involved in that team.
So what are you saying? You're saying
heroes welcome.
Mid-table Spanish team, maybe top 4.
What for him?
Yeah, to go to.
I think he's, because I know that obviously this Spanish region is a bit complicated about who you sign for and who you don't.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Yeah, that throws some spanners in the works. He ain't going to go to Real or Atletico Madrid. No chance. He ain't going to either one of them. Valencia, that kind of calibre. Sevilla, I think he works well at that kind of team. Betis, Getafe, someone like that. I think that's probably his level. Someone that gets in Europa League, maybe. You're right, then. Don't break my set. Don't break my set. I think going to that kind of Europa League, maybe challenging for a Champions League qualification place, is about his level. But I think if it was me, I would look at the options of going elsewhere and having Bex on side, knowing that Bex knows he can play.
Bex loves everyone.
Everyone loves Bex. He's been that player. He's been it for years. Everyone likes him in football. He is just that player. But the problem you've got in terms of Pedro is where he sees himself.
Yeah.
If he sees himself winning Champions League again, he has to go to a big team. Because he's not going to be the player that revolutionises a team.
No.
This is but again, could he go to Germany? Could he go and do a completely different challenge? Maybe. Do I think he's going to learn German? No. Why would you bother?
It's too old.
Why would you bother?
I say too old. It's 34, 32, whatever. But
still,
at that age, you can't be asked, can you?
You can't be asked. And your family is settled and whatever. Yeah. If you want to go for the best quality of life, I think you go to America.
Exactly. I've got a question for you.
Go on.
What do you think of Loftus-Cheek, and who do you think Chelsea should buy if they bought centre back? Here comes the dislike on Ian's YouTube video.
Get ready, people here. I think Loftus-Cheek is overrated.
So, I think he's shit as well.
Go on.
But I know a lot of people say, oh, he's been injured for this amount of time, blah, blah, he's always injured. But even before he's injured, 2018-19 season, he had 6 goals, 2 assists in the league. That has been his best season so far. And even when I'm watching him play, he doesn't do much.
He has got everything about him. The build, the talent in terms of driving the ball up the pitch and being able to shoot from distance, to be a great centre midfielder. Yeah. That's where he broke onto the scene. But the one thing he does not do is defend. Now, people are saying defending is driving the ball up the pitch. That's not defending. That's getting on the attack. Defending is being able to be there, structurally sound, moving around and getting involved when you need to get involved. You put a foot in here and there, you can make a tackle. He doesn't want to do that. Yesterday, he was meant to be playing left wing.
Right, left wing. Now,
where did that come from? Where did that come from?
Playing left wing in the Prem and right wing. If you're a winger, people like Raheem Sterling and Rashford are good at it. They drive, they take on players, and they put it in the box.
Yep.
Loftus-Cheek, he's best at driving with the ball.
Yep.
Using it like Moussa Dembele at Spurs, using his body, pushing people off.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday, he's not driving anyone.
I get there might have been a little bit of rustiness, but everything I've heard, especially from the friendlies, is that we beat QPR especially 7-1. Yeah. 7-1. And he scored twice. So I don't know about this whole get ready, lack of fitness or whatever, not being match fit. If you've scored 7 goals in a game as a team and you yourself have scored twice,
I want to see more than I did yesterday.
I want to see a lot more than I did yesterday. I get that Villa might have had a game back more, and they might be a bit more accustomed to it, and Chelsea did struggle in that regard. But I don't think that Ruben Loftus-Cheek is going to be the player that everyone thinks he is at Chelsea. I think he's a good player, but I don't think he's going to be elite. I think, and my dad will agree with me on this, I think he is sub-material. I think he is second string, and for me, I'd sell him.
Do you know what? I'll sell him as well. Do you know why they don't sell him? It's because he's from the academy.
Yep.
And he's English.
Yep.
And people will be disgraced.
We said it earlier. Tick box.
It is, yeah.
Tick box.
But we've got enough academy graduates now.
Mount, Tamori, Tammy. I don't know about Tammy, but again, he deserves his shot to be there for a year, 2 years, whatever.
He's played well.
He has scored goals. He should be scoring a lot more, but that's a different matter altogether. He's done enough to warrant a place in the team again. Has Loftus-Cheek? I get that he's been injured. Yes, fine, fair enough. But has he done enough to warrant himself a place in the team for years? No.
I don't get where the excitement.
When did he break through? 2016. He went to Palace as well on loan.
Even at Palace, I watched Palace. Didn't really see him.
He was the best player in a shit team.
Yes, I still didn't see enough.
No. I agree.
I mean, I saw. Do you know Alex Goldberg on Twitter?
Oh, go on.
He's like, I saw him yesterday. One sleep till we get to watch Loftus-Cheek play.
A lot of people are hyping Loftus-Cheek up, and I get why. Because I mean, when he does come into the team, when he wants to play football, he is good.
Next question: who do you think Chelsea will sign if they sign a centre back, or who do you want to sign?
They're not going to let him go, because especially when they beat Juve in the Coppa Italia, they won some silverware. Exactly, they ain't going to let him go. I don't think they should, to be honest with you.
Well, they said the only reason they would sell if someone coughed up 90 million.
No, he's not worth it. Not worth it at all.
Not at all.
No, I think the two players that Chelsea should look at. One of them they should sign, I think, but the other one they should definitely look at. I'll go for the one I think they should look at first. Thiago Silva is a free transfer. He's a free transfer.
You know I saw your tweet the other day. Ryan Fraser.
Oh yeah, no, he's a free transfer. Chelsea should be all over that. Yeah, they should be all over that. You want to sign Kai Havertz, and I completely understand why. You've got this geezer here who's 26, who's got a lot of potential. Haven't seen the best of him. Did you see Bournemouth on Saturday? They look crap. And a lot of that speed and energy comes from him. They lacked it massively. He offers a lot to that club.
Saying that, I suppose if you did sign a centre back and sign him as well,
I'd be well happy. I would be so fine with that.
Bournemouth, he's probably on 40k. He's not on a lot.
He's on piss all. He wants to go and get some sort of a payday. For him, for no fee, you could pay him 80 to 100 grand a week, and you'd be completely fine.
Yeah,
you'd be completely fine with that. And I think
now that you put it that way,
yeah, that's what I think. Yeah. The main concern for me at Chelsea is getting a centre half, and I actually think Alonso and Emerson are not bad choice left backs.
They're just average.
I think they're average. I think you don't have to buy one maybe this year. It depends what you want to do. Chelsea everyone keeps banging on. Chelsea have to challenge Liverpool for the league this year, or next year. Sorry, that's what everyone keeps banging on about. I'd like to, obviously, but next year's going to be so fucking weird. No one knows what the hell's going to happen. They're talking about the top 7 teams not being allowed in the bloody Carabao Cup, which is stupid, but there we are. That's the rules. Anyway, Chelsea sign a top quality centre half. Ryan Fraser, yeah, fine, I'll give you that. But you sign Thiago Silva. It's 35. He's a free transfer. You could probably deal with him for a year. You could have him for a year, but the problem I have is that we have no experience in our back four. We haven't. Bar Dave. Right.
Even Dave.
I actually thought he played well yesterday, but that's a different...
I just think he likes pace, that's all.
Oh yeah, he does. He definitely does. And again, against the good left wingers in the league, you get found out. I think Bar Dave, our back four, lacks experience, and especially with the young goalkeeper behind, that doesn't help either. Right. So we'll switch that round slightly. The 75 million that you've got on Kai Havertz, apparently, spend it elsewhere. Get Tagliafico or Telles. I don't think Ben Chilwell's worth the money that everyone keeps banging. Keep banging.
If he scored at the weekend, that means his value's gone up 10 mil.
Exactly. I don't think it's worth it. You buy Tagliafico is the one I would go for. You can get him for a decent deal. Telles looks like he could be going to PSG, although that could potentially fall through. But I'm not going to count my chickens before they've hatched. Is it count me chickens or count me eggs? Count me. I don't know. Whatever it is. I don't think it's worth the big risk on Ben Chilwell. I think if it was for me, you should really look and consider buying Tagliafico for a smaller fee. Yeah, because he's clearly a good player, plays well. Also as well knows Ziyech as well, which obviously will have some sort of link-up play. I know they play opposite sides, but that still helps. Training stuff, they'll come up against each other. They have to have some sort of relationship. That could help matters anyway. Sign Tagliafico. I think Chelsea are into a good team. Sign a quality centre-half. Chelsea are into a great team. Now, Thiago Silva, the reason I say him is if we can sign him, he's a free transfer. I know his wages are going to be a bit high, but London is very attractive.
It is.
The
only thing I've got is if he comes in, will he adapt to the pace of the Prem? He's been in the French league.
I do think you still need to be very careful about when you play him. But the main reason for him coming in for me is to teach Rudiger about how to be a quality, experienced centre half. Because I think we all accept Rudiger is the guy we want going forward. Yeah. With someone else. It could be Tomori in years to come. But I think Chelsea should go for an experienced centre-half, someone that we can look at and rely on for multiple years to come, Thiago Silva is not going to be that. He's 35. Should we sign him maybe now on a free transfer, get a bit of experience out of him? Yes, I think it's definitely worth it. But the one player I think Chelsea should go after in terms of a centre-half more than absolutely anyone, especially if they go down, because I think he's got quality attributes. He's a leader. He's captain of the club at the moment. Lewis Dunk.
Oh, thank God.
Lewis Dunk. No, fuck Ake. They're shit. They were crap. Brighton won against Arsenal, got themselves out of a bit of a bother. They're going to fight to stay up. Bournemouth are down. Bournemouth are down. Like, that's set in stone. They are gone. Lewis Dunk is a quality player. He scores goals. He got a goal at the weekend. It wasn't the best goal ever, but he scored. He offers a threat. He's big. He's physical. He's powerful. He reminds me a lot of Gary Cahill and John Terry. A mixture of the two. If you can have him doing all the mind work and get Rudiger doing all the leg work, in years to come when Lewis Dunk unfortunately says, yeah, I've got to hang up the boots, thanks for everything, Chelsea, cheers for that, well done. Rudiger has learned everything that Lewis Dunk has possibly taught him about being that calm head. It happened with Carvalho and Terry. Terry for years was the leg work at Chelsea. Carvalho was the brains of the operation. All of a sudden when JT's legs went, which we all knew and expected, JT become the brain work. And he was the best at it, bar none.
So if Brighton say, all right, you can have him, but it's 45 million.
They ain't going to do that. No chance they're going to do that. Because
they're doing less.
I think they do less. If they stay up, they can demand what they want, and I don't think it's worth it. But if he goes down, because that's the thing, Brighton are still going to go down. I still think they're going to go down. They've got a very... they are...
They're just above relegation.
I think the win helped them out. I think they might be up to something like 16th or something like that. But their run of games is hard. Is hard.
Who they got next?
They've got Liverpool and City back to back. I know that for a fact. They've got to play Man United. They've got to play Leicester. And I think they've also got to go to I think it might have to be a case of go to Burnley on the last day of the season, hoping to go. Yeah, trying to get a win to stay up. I still think they're going to go down. I think you could possibly see my three teams going down will be Brighton, Bournemouth, and Norwich. Right, so there you go. That is the first Yes People podcast back from its long absence. Thanks to Tom for coming on.
Yeah, no problem.
Got to do one of them.
Slagged enough people off on this podcast.
Lovely.
Now.
Got to do one of those, social distancing. Yeah. Anyway, thanks to everyone for watching. There's going to be loads of content coming up on this channel very, very soon. The Yes People podcast is going to hopefully be a weekly thing, get loads of different people on. Tom will be back on it in the future, definitely. And yeah, we're going to have some special guests and things in weeks to come. So for now, thanks for watching or listening, whatever you're doing. Take care, stay safe, and we'll see you soon. Take care.
See ya.